As many of you know, I spoke out last weekend about my concerns at an apparent lack of honesty and fairness in the leadership of our nation. Those of us in leadership, locally or nationally, have great privilege and also great responsibility. As Jesus said, much is required of those to whom much is given. And one of the requirements in a time of crisis is to acknowledge how great a sacrifice is being made by so many. I know how many of you have had to go against your instincts to try to ensure that others are protected from COVID-19. I know that many have struggled trying to concentrate on work while trying to get children to do some school lessons and then trying to find places locally to exercise. I know that some working on the front line have separated themselves completely from their children and haven't seen them for weeks. I know grandparents who are longing to cuddle newborn grandchildren. I know families who have not been able to sit and hold the hand of those who are dying. I know that there are those who are grieving alone. I know you are making those sacrifices for the good of the whole community. I have heard directly from those who are shielding and who are so grateful for the protection given to them by unknown numbers of folk who are thinking not just of their families, but of the wider community in all the decisions that they are taking. Over recent weeks, the bonds of our common life have been strengthened as we have introduced ourselves to neighbours, created networks, and formed the supply chain of care. We are weary of isolation. We are longing to get out and about and catch up with each other face to face. But as the lockdown is slowly released, the restraint of the whole community will still be needed. Thank you for your continuing part in saving the lives of others. I learnt from my former boss, Archbishop Sentamu of York, always to remember that when I point the finger of accusation or blame, 3 fingers are pointing back at me. I know the church I serve is far from perfect. Bishops are fallible. Many of us have failed. If you are a person of prayer, I do ask you to keep praying for me and all those in leadership in faith communities, that we may work with wisdom and humility for the sake of all.